if I was watching this, I wouldn't have noticed that without somebody telling me.
All right, you guys, give me 1 second here. All right.
All right.
We are live on episode 33 of Calls with Paul.
Yeah.
It's Wednesday, April 15th.
Yeah.
It would have been tax day.
It's a little bit like Star Date, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe.
Star Date. Maybe we should announce these in Star Dates.
Yeah, maybe. I'm Marquette Redham.
I'm Paul Redham, and I'm so excited today. We got Robin. Am I allowed to jump into that?
Well, sure. Today we've got Robin Hall, one of our local business owners that we work with often. She's the owner of Gwyndow, and she also owns a second company that we're going to hear a little bit about today. Robin, thanks for coming on with us.
Hi, guys.
Yeah, Robin, you have ways to keep me safe and my clients safe,
Yes.
and I'm super excited about it.
Yeah, I wish we could be in person this time.
Well, maybe with your product we can.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
tell us first, how are you and your family holding up?
Yeah, we're doing okay. We're mostly stuck at home and pretending like we know how to school our kids. I've got 2 little ones, and they're actually loving being out of school right now. Fortunately, they're not old enough to know exactly what's going on. So
How old are they?
6 and 4.
Oh boy, yeah.
A little bit younger than
Yeah,
ours.
so you got an elementary and a pre.
Yeah, and they
I imagine.
my son is like, yes, spring break lasts forever. This is awesome.
The eternal spring break. I love it.
It's the longest weekend ever is what I keep.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Well, we're glad to hear that y'all are doing well. I think my kids are not really sure how I was because I put on makeup and I fixed my hair this morning.
You look beautiful.
Yeah, and they're like, "Wow, Mom."
Look
Yeah, you look
serious.
I don't recognize you. So these are a good reason for me to shower and get dressed. So we got to keep doing calls with Paul, so I at least get 1 weekly cleaning.
Yeah. Look great. Yeah.
Well, we know you from Gwyndow. In case those of you that are watching that don't know, Robin owns Gwyndow, which is a window cleaning and power washing and just kind of general. We use Gwyndow all the time for helping get homes ready to go on the market. You know, we're always amazed at what a difference clean windows make to having a buyer feel like the house is attractive and appealing. And we've got another interview we did with Robin where we talked a little bit about the services. But Robin, you also own Austin Fire and Flood. Tell us about that company.
I started I started it about 2 years ago. I got Gwyndow up and running with really great management and decided to tackle something new. It's an industry that definitely needs a small business touch to it. There's quite a few franchises in Austin that do what we do, but basically we clean up after disasters. So you have a fire or you have a water leak, you have a situation where there's some microbial growth. We also do, we don't advertise this as much, but we do biohazard cleanup. So that would include, somebody that passes away at home, perhaps is there for a few weeks or, days. Somebody has to come in and clean it up. So that's what we do. We go in and clean up after.
Somebody else takes the body away, right?
Yeah, we don't take the body away.
Other people are wondering.
Yeah, everything, but actually there's this is kind of gruesome, but there's actually a point where there are some body parts that could be left that we have. There's kind of there's a scale on whether or not we can touch it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
This is taking a turn, honey.
Yeah, sorry, we don't have to talk about that. What I'm really excited to talk about is one of the things that my company does, or that we have done in the past, that we're certified to do, is clean up biohazards. And the current pandemic certainly qualifies as a biohazard. So when the outbreak started in the U.S., I realized that my skills are kind of uniquely suited to be able to do this because A, I have awesome cleaners who already know how to clean things, and B, I have all the appropriate certifications in order to be able to keep them safe while cleaning up a potentially deadly virus.
And
So
are you doing this on your own? I mean, through Austin Fire and Flood? I noticed you're wearing a Code 4
Yeah.
shirt. So
yeah,
tell
thank
us
you.
about that.
That's a great question. So because we anticipated this being essentially a need for every public space in Austin, I quickly realized that I don't have all of the assets needed to be able to ramp this up quickly, right? So I knew of Scott, the owner of Code 4. I knew of him through a mutual colleague, called him up. We had a short phone conversation in which he basically said, hey, I'm out of work because all of the events in Austin are shut down. That's what he does. He's an event guy. And he's like, I would really like to get into this industry. I don't know exactly what I'm doing. Can I help you? Right. So we are utilizing his assets, my assets in Fire and Flood, and doing you know, a combo. So we're working under his business name Code 4. His company previously they do program. I'm gonna say this all wrong for him, I know. So I apologize, Scott. But his company does they do event coordination in terms of EMS, firefighting, medical staff for events in Austin like Formula One. Okay, that's the kind of stuff that he does. And then of course, all of it got canceled. All right, so he has off-duty firefighters, EMS, medical staff on call to be able to do this work. They already know how to don PPE.
Right. Yeah.
And he's like, hey, let's put these guys to work doing something useful, right?
I love
That's wonderful. Get those frontline guys some money.
Exactly. Yep. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. That's wonderful for all. It protects me, protects our clients, and keeps the frontline guys busy and doing good
Yep.
stuff. So
That's right.
this is all great news. Are there any other benefits I'm missing before we get into the how's this work and all that?
Well, I mean, I operate under the the core value for me and all of my service businesses is to provide value to our customers. And right now, this is this is so important because we're actually talking about potentially saving people's lives, which is super cool. That gives me chills. And I posted on my personal Facebook page a couple of weeks ago. I realized that I have a unique I don't want to say insider knowledge. It's not insider, but I have unique knowledge in being able to prevent this, especially for people who are at high risk. I decided to be able to share that with people, and in terms of like, hey, you have a question, like, what should I do when I get home if I work at a grocery store, right? I'll answer it. Like, cool, like no big deal. I absolutely love being able to share my knowledge with people and prevent the misinformation going around on the interwebs. That's there's a lot of it.
But there.
Well, and I know we talked a little bit beforehand that your Gwyndows cleaning business is still alive and well, but you also had a need to also utilize your staff in other ways. So you've put them to work as well. So instead of having to potentially look at furloughs or terminations, you taking your Gwyndows workforce and giving them an opportunity to also continue to earn an income during these challenging times. Did I get that right?
Yeah, that's right. So that was my original thought. Let's keep these guys working. All right. When we realized at the beginning of, or I guess probably at the end of February, that we were going to slow down at Gwyndows, right? and this is, by the way, this is our busiest time of the year typically. And I know that's true for the housing market as well.
Yeah.
I realized that we were going to slow down. And our business, window cleaning, is very strongly tied to the housing market, because you gotta have everything clean to sell a house. I talked with my with my whole staff right before we weren't allowed to see each other, and and said, is anybody interested in doing fire and flood work, decon work? And I got a poll from everybody. And so I already had in my head that we were going to pivot in that direction. And since then, we have gone through 4 days of me thinking we were not considered essential, completely shut down, to the governor saying, no, by the way, you are. We've gone to that. And so Gwyndows is we're still out there working. We're definitely taking on business. We're not doing any inside work at all. We're not, my techs are not allowed to come into direct contact with anybody. And the ones that are not cleaning windows, or that are only cleaning windows part-time, they've been offered a position with Code 4 doing decon work, which is we're anticipating being a 24-hour service. So.
Wow. Did anybody say, no, thanks, I don't want to touch that? Literally.
Yep. Yeah. So we have, it's about 50-50. It's a high risk job. And we're not forcing anybody to work. In fact, a few of even my window techs, a few of them are choosing not to clean windows right now because they don't want to be out. I have one that has health concerns that would preclude her from being out and about anyway. So it's a spectrum. Code 4 specifically to do decon work, we have very stringent guidelines, and we have a doctor on staff who is virtually making sure everybody meets the medical guidelines in order to be able to do this. We're also making sure everybody is vaccinated appropriately with everything that they can get. I wish there was one for the COVID-19, but there's not. So, the normal vaccines. And then of course, there's some additional training that goes along with doing this. But basically our number one goal is to keep everybody safe. That's why we're doing this.
Well, let's talk about it. I mean, because you've got me thinking that if I'm in a quarantine, I want to come quarantine at Robin's house.
Yeah.
Because she's got all that stuff.
Yeah, or maybe we need you periodically here, like when we go back to doing open houses or whatever. Like, how do you see yourself manifesting in the real estate industry?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the product that I'm most excited about is called Razor, R-A-Z-O-R, Razor. You can look it up. It's distributed by a company named Disinfecting, who actually does this in Austin. So he's a Central Texas guy. And I met him last week to learn all about his product, to make sure that the efficacy was there, because we don't want to be putting something in people's homes or in businesses that's going to be harmful or ineffective. I mean, and so we're along with another disinfectant that's on the list for kill claims on the EPA guidelines. We are able to apply this on literally virtually every surface, not food, everything else. And assuming that the surface is clean beforehand, we can apply this to the surface. It acts as a polymer. It binds to the surface, and I'm not going to get super geeky because I'm not a chemist. But it's, from what I understand, it binds to the surface, and any microbes that land on it pokes holes in it like tiny little swords. It has tiny little swords on it that pokes holes in it, and then executes it. Okay. And it works up to 90 days we're recommending applications every 30 days just to make sure, but that's 90 days on high frequency touch surfaces. So they put it through a friction test. Basically, it works 90 days on a doorknob.
That's wonderful.
I'm assuming this has huge commercial implications.
It does, yeah.
But also resident, like, so we would obviously use it in terms of anybody who's buying a home that wants to not only have our typical cleaner go in and clean it, but you could also have the biohazard cleaning done with Code 4 and Austin Fire and Hazard. And then you could, or our sellers who are selling as maybe even a selling point can say, we've vacated the home, we've paid to have this service done as just another kind of carrot to dangle in front of buyers.
It'd be nice to have a little sign that we could put out there that makes people feel comfortable coming in.
Ooh,
and also just brainstorming here a little bit, Robin, we had a restaurateur on, was that last week?
Yes, Adam.
Adam and he was telling us all about the stuff that restaurants are going through, and I imagine you'd be really applicable to that.
Yeah.
No pun.
100%. Yeah, 100%. So I can envision this. Let's say that you guys can go back to showing houses in life, right?
Gloves.
Yeah, if you've got a house that even people are living in, you can protect the resident, the person selling the house. And then you can also say, by the way, we've applied this substance, right? Or we've applied this chemical inside the house. And if you touch a table, you're not going to pick up the COVID from it, right? Now I want to say that there is literally no test for the COVID virus on surfaces. All right. So a lot of what we're doing is based on assumptions. This product, I can link efficacy studies for it, but this product is sprayed in the HVAC unit at Baylor Scott and White, and it has been used for years and years in order to cut down on bloodborne pathogen transmission. And it's also used to keep down staph infections at like professional sports arenas. So they on the field and in the locker rooms. That's what it was developed for.
So you could also help University of Texas football games.
Yeah.
Let's get down to what's important.
I know, right? Let's start spraying the fields in the locker room so we can get back. Yeah.
Robin, is this the kind of thing like when we saw on TV, when you look at the European countries and you see them cleaning the subways and they're spraying services, it looks like the insecticide sprayers. Is that kind of what this is and that they're doing over there already?
I would assume so. Yeah. So there's a few different, it's called a biostat. There's a few different biostats on the market, and you want to combine that with a disinfectant. Okay. So what we're doing is we're combining it with a disinfectant that's actually on the list in. Okay. And then the most important thing, and this is what I'm seeing from different companies like on the news and stuff that they're not doing, that this is really, really important, is none of this stuff works if it's not clean first. And by clean, I mean, you've got to, you have to remove the microbial labor on this, the microbial buildup on the surface in order for the polymer to stick. And you also have to remove it in order for a disinfectant to work. You cannot spray a disinfectant on a clump of mud and expect it to eliminate any sort of microbe. And then
it sounds to me, to put it in real estate speak, we need to sand the floors and then cover it with a varnish, and then it's safe.
That's 100%. Yeah, sand the floors and then cover it with a varnish. Yeah, yeah.
So, do you do the cleaning as well?
We do. Yes, we're offering it. It's going to be based on clients' needs, right? Some places, for instance, if you're selling a house, you're going to have it clean first, right? We don't need to go in there and clean. Okay. So we don't necessarily have to do the cleaning, but we're equipped to, and in some scenarios it's necessary. Also, we are, we're utilizing ATP meters for testing. Without getting super geeky again, the ATP meter measures in relative light units the amount of microbial buildup on a surface. So we can go in and see if it's clean before we apply a disinfectant. And then we can make sure our disinfectants are working by killing the microbes. And then we can apply the biostat, the razor. That's right.
Wow.
So you have a gizmo that can tell how dirty a room is.
Correct.
Yeah,
And
that sounds scary. The housewife in me was like, don't bring, yeah.
Take that into Ellen.
I tested it on my kids' hands.
Oh,
And then I made them wash 3 more times and tested it again. Now, granted, they're 6 and 4, but because of this, they know more about hand washing than I ever knew growing up. So let's just say we're still working on it in the hall.
Yeah.
so if for y'all to do this, does the house like if it were an occupied house, do the owners need to be vacant and away from the home for a period of time? And if so,
Yeah, that's a
how
great
long?
question. So for while we're in there, you need to be out of the house until it dries. That takes about 45 minutes. Yep.
What about pets? Do pets need to be vacated as well?
Same thing, yeah. Because we're aerosolizing a chemical, you really don't want to be around it unless you're wearing a respirator. And we are operating under the assumption that the virus is present. And so because of that, we're using complete biohazard PPE when we go into places, not because of the chemical, but because we, especially you could potentially re-aerosolize the virus. And so we don't want to, we don't want to just stick on our clothes later and bring it home to our families. So, so we are in full PPE now. As soon as the chemicals settle on the surface, which takes a few minutes. I mean, they're super big microns, right? It takes a few minutes. As soon as they settle on the surface, it's safe for somebody to go in without a respirator on. But everything's wet. There's slip hazards and stuff like that you don't want to necessarily be in contact with. So we're requiring everybody to be out while it dries. So 45 minutes. Plus it helps it stick to the surface if you're not tracking it around different places.
Sure. So full on clean and then dry. I guess you don't know how long it takes to clean because you don't know how big everybody.
Yeah.
House is. Like 3 hours, you could probably get everything done.
Yep.
In most cases. Okay.
Yeah, it depends. It 100% depends. Yeah.
I have so many questions. One of them is, how can I get this on the black market? Can you slip me a bottle? So I can run around squirting my doors. I'm just kidding. Although it does sound like
we actually, so we yesterday went up to the EMS. Actually, I'm not going to tell you where it is because I'm not sure I can. We did for free an EMS station near Austin and get some so that they can keep their people safe. Because
that's so nice.
Yeah, because it's just so important. It's so important. And this is one of the best things you can do to quell service transmission. And
I love that you're doing that to help keep our
yeah, if I could shout it on the rooftops, yes, get this, buy this and do it, I would. Yeah. And of course,
I'm assuming you need to be business and able to do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
we can come from the rooftops for you, Robin.
Thank you. Yeah.
So in addition to that, my other question is like, what should we expect the cost to be to do the cleaning and the biostatic or the decon, as you were calling it? What's that look like?
Yeah, so we're trying to come up with a per square foot price. For cleaning, it's going to start at around $1 a square foot. And then for a disinfectant / biostat application, which we're recommending every 30 days on the biostat, it's gonna start at like 15 cents a square foot, depending on a number of factors. Yeah.
Cool.
Is that for hard surfaces, the footage count, or for the entire house?
Yeah, that's for the floor. So, but in terms of, I think, what you're asking is, does that include carpet? Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, that's why I said start at, because, carpet cleaning is a little bit different bear, and we're actually partnering with another, a carpet cleaning company, and, he'd probably be okay with me mentioning his name. It's Peace Frog Carpet Cleaning in Austin. Also doing disinfectant services specifically on textiles. So we're partnering with them because they've got the giant carpet cleaning. We have small carpet cleaning stuff for biohazard. They've got big ones, and they can go in with a disinfectant approved carpet cleaner and steam clean your carpets. And then you can afterward. So, yep.
That's awesome.
So I guess I'm trying to get a general idea for the average home, a 2,000 square foot house that's, 3 bedroom, 2 bath, whatever.
Yeah.
What that would run. And I'm guessing that's about a $2,500 expense.
Yeah, that if you wanted us to come in and do everything, and that includes cleaning your walls, literally cleaning your walls.
Yeah, no, it'd be
I
like,
could use that
I
too.
think it should be a one service provider doing all of it,
Yep, that's right.
So I'm assuming a lot of that is fluid and you have to have a conversation with the homeowner about the home. Are you offering consultations for that?
100%. Yeah. So we can do virtual consultations. Anybody that wants to walk me through their house. If you've had, for instance, a Matterport set up, like a 3D walkthrough that I know you guys utilize. We utilize that all the time as well. Then I can do a consultation based on that, based on a Matterport setup. And then also I'm happy to come meet you in person. No handshakes. I'll wear a mask. But we're walking in and out of houses daily and doing temperature checks every morning. So, yeah.
That's very cool. And where should people go if they want to know more or if they want to book your services? Do they go through Code 4? Do they go through Austin Fire and Hazard? Or Fire and Flood, sorry. Or do they go through Gwyndows? How do you
can reach me on any or the above. Yeah, and I can link, or I guess you can link our page. Yep.
Which would you prefer people to go through? I know that we know how to reach you through Gwyndows, and that's our easiest, but like, what do you want people to do?
Yeah, go through Gwyndows. That way I know to put you guys at the top of the list. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have some friends who are watching from Houston right now and Seattle, and probably some other locations. Is there going to be any expansion, or do you have a network of other people, like if somebody in Houston or Seattle wanted to know who to reach out to for this kind of service, would you be able to refer that out?
Yeah, that's a great question. I know of companies doing this in Dallas and Houston. I can definitely for you if you're in Texas, most likely. And I'm happy to do some research for people out of state. Yeah.
That's awesome. What have we not asked you? What kinds of questions are you getting from people that you think you have knowledge that you can share as sort of a parting?
When should I do this?
Yeah.
Okay, so the cool thing about the razor is it's preventative. Okay, for people or for businesses who have clients in and out, restaurants, for instance, or like a mailbox store, an essential service business that's still open. And now is a great time to do it before you have a suspected positive case, because if you have a customer in who is spreading the virus through a cough, for instance, even though our mayor's telling us to wear coverings, you don't have to. You don't have to make sure every single surface is wiped down after every customer leaves, which is important for people who have, or companies that have people in and out every day. Same thing with people selling houses, right? Now, I don't want to be misunderstood here. The razor only works if you keep the surface clean. So if you think about it, this does not not replace normal cleaning, okay? It doesn't replace normal disinfecting. If you have a surface and you've got the razor on top of it, it's got the little sword sticking up, and the microbe falls on it and it pokes holes and electrocutes it, right? Okay. Think about it'll do that for the surface microbes, the ones that fall on it. But then 4 coughs later, it's your microbes are sitting on top of a dirty surface, not on top of the razor. All right. So you still have to wipe off your door handles, but you don't have to wipe them, or you don't have to worry about wiping them in order to keep people safe.
Is there anything you should not use in conjunction with the static coating the razor? Like, is there any other chemicals that would cause it to break down more quickly? No?
Nope.
Okay.
That's one of the main questions I had for Mike. Yeah.
So the razor keeps the base level safe, but anything above that can.
Well, to
Correct.
me, it's those
Yeah.
medieval forts and the spikes coming out of the forts, right? Like when people are impaled on the spike, you gotta.
I like the spikes, but the spikes don't hurt the kids. They just hurt the virus.
The spikes are so small, you'll never see them. Yeah, no, they don't. Once the solution dries and then your dog comes and licks it, not gonna hurt them. All right.
Microbiome
Formula, which means it's almost the closest you can get to being green or without actually saying that they're green.
Wonderful. Can it do outdoor surfaces too, like the deck and railings and all that?
It can, but I don't see any reason to do that. Railings, maybe. Something like a deck, unless you've got people rolling on it, right?
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
So things for outside surfaces, rain's gonna wash it away, meaning microbes, not the razor. Rain's gonna wash microbes away. The wind will take it away, right? Like it's just not gonna stay outside very long. Yeah.
Got it.
Robert, that's hugely helpful. And I think for, people that I'll raise my hand like me, who are just, really trying to be cautious about this, but not really sure what to do, to know that there is a service. I try my best to clean, but we've got 2 young kids in the house, and that stays clean for like 30 seconds, right? And then it's all dirty again.
Yep.
The idea of having something that gives us a little bit more security, not a replacement for the precautions you're taking, but as Paul goes out on showings and comes back, into the house and is bringing things in with him. Yes, bringing germs in. It's just nice to know that we've got that as a resource, and then also we can offer that to our buyers and to the sellers that we represent.
No, that's a great closing gift.
Yeah.
It's really good to see you guys.
Give our best to the family. Keep those kids happy and engaged, and we'll stay in touch. And we always love hearing from you. You're always very innovative about the things that you're doing. So if you roll something else out, let us know and we'll bring you back on.
Yeah, you're like a super entrepreneur. I mean, you're amazing, Robin. Keep up the great work.
I'm not sure amazing's the right word, but I'm something. Yeah, we're getting there.
Cool. Thanks so much, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Bye.